Thank you very much for watching. First, a little bit about today's interviewee, Lauren VanScoy, a friend of mine who's also a very inspiring entrepreneur doing some very important work. I wanted to focus on living courageously in regards to mental health challenges. Lauren has created an aromatherapy-based line formulated to support an inspired and less stressed life. Her products support mental health and wellness. Lauren was caught off guard by anxiety and depression in her mid-30s. Her search led her to aromatherapy and more. Eventually, she received a certification in aromatherapy. Now, she's crafting all natural products that are uplifting and calming. These products have made a positive change in Lauren's life and many others as her products are selling well across the country. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us and making time for the interview. I really appreciate it. Let's jump right in. What are you doing professionally?
Hi, Ron. So my professional career now involves Essence One, which is a company I started almost 5 years ago. And as you explained, it was out of my own mental health experiences.
And can you describe the path that got you to where you are?
Sure. After children and different hormonal imbalances and whatever it was that kind of contributed to my journey, I went through a rough period of struggles with anxiety and depression, and just trying to figure out what was going on and what was helpful for balancing my lifestyle. A lot of times people look for one quick fix, and I have to say and agree that there's just many different things that you can adjust in your lifestyle to figure out what is best to balance your mental health. So for me, it was working out, eating better, and aromatherapy played a big part in that. So once I discovered that, and once I realized that there were things that I could do to figure out, how to navigate anxiety and depression, as it seemed like it was something that would be present for my life, I was able to then grasp hold of what helped me, and then also understood that I just wanted to help other people that were going through the same kind of thing, breaking the stigma behind mental health, as well as just introducing people to aromatherapy through natural products.
Excellent. And what are you working on now?
Well, a lot of different things. When I started the company, formulating the products was my favorite part of the job, and kind of just all that I did was formulate and make products. But as we've grown, I've now pivoted to have to do more administrative and company, how to keep the company going, how to keep sales going, how to be making sure that we're sticking with our mission, which is to raise awareness for mental health. But so a lot of it now is focusing more on the business as a whole. And I do get a little bit of time to create new products, but otherwise we're just working on our communication with people, and just always making sure that what we're putting out there in the forefront is the mental health awareness side of things, but then also making sure that the products are quality products and something that people enjoy using.
Excellent. Do you want to share your challenges with anxiety and depression and share perhaps some insights that may help others?
Sure. I think the biggest thing for me, and I always say the first day that I really started to heal, was the day that I shared what I was going through with other people. And I did it on Facebook of all places, which was one of the things that increases anxiety and depression as you
Yeah, that's
compare.
brave.
Yeah, compare your life. So that morning I felt that need to share it and to just say, this is what I'm going through. You're not alone if you are. And when I did that, the people that reached out, either who were going through similar situations, or I had a loved one that was experiencing it, it just created like the feeling that I got. I knew that was something that I wanted other people to be able to feel. And not everyone is comfortable sharing those things publicly, but making sure that people know that they're not alone is what's important in all of it, and that it's very normal to go through anxiety and depression and ups and downs in life. And you do have to pay attention to it. So making sure that you are finding the different things, and it can be just medication, it can be medication and exercising and eating better and using natural products. So it's just finding that combination that works for you, and then having the patience to try different things.
Can you tell us a little bit more about, or can you tell us about Bring Change to Mind and how Essence One works with this national organization?
hmm Yeah, so Bring Change to Mind, when I started Essence One, I knew that we wanted to give back to different organizations. So the first couple of years we found some that we gave back to, and multiple per year. We weren't necessarily profitable that year, but I still made sure that we could give something. But then we found Bring Change to Mind and just found that it was a really good fit because it was a national organization that focuses on high school age students, and helping them. Uh, so we sponsor their mental health clubs that they can start in their schools, and it's just one of those helpful things to allow people, students specifically, to communicate what's going on in their life, whether it's them, whether it's a parent or a friend that's going through mental health, but then also just to break that stigma behind it and to not feel ashamed, to be explaining what they're going through, looking for the resources when you're in the depths of what you're going through, and you don't know where to turn, you don't have resources to to for you to go to, or for loved ones to go to, because loved ones want to know how to help, but when you're in the middle of it, you don't really know what can help you either. So um, being more proactive is kind of how we see Bring Change to Mind playing a role, because then these students have that resource in the younger years in high school, when a lot of us, that's when we developed whatever experiences we might have been going through, that could also influence the mental health piece later on in life. So it's something that we feel is very important to kind of go start from that younger age, and then as we move forward and are able to sponsor more clubs, we let Bring Change to Mind know that we are open to sponsoring more. And then they've got students who have written in wait lists for schools looking for that support, and then they'll introduce us to another school. So right now we sponsor 2 schools in Minnesota. We were the first company to sponsor a Minnesota school, so that was exciting. But we hope to, support schools around the country as we grow.
That's great. Good for you. And I think I read Glenn Close is one of the principals.
Yep. So Glenn Close founded it after wanting to start something. She has 2 siblings who have different mental health disorders, and so she's behind it. The students get to see her more so, I think, distanced and on Zoom, especially nowadays. But she's very involved in the organization. And then as it grows, they keep adding new states where they can sponsor schools.
Excellent. Your products, how do they help mental health issues? Can you share some of the science behind the aromatherapy?
Sure. So I always do like to preface, as just as in the case of no one thing can get rid of anxiety, get rid of depression. So using natural products with aromatherapy is part of the lifestyle changes that you can make to balance out your mental situation and state. So aromatherapy is behind the science behind it is that the essential oils have different components within them. So we know what oils are helpful for calming, what oils are helpful for uplifting. And then those components in the oils are, when you take a deep breath, that's what gets into your limbic system in your brain. And then that's your brain tells your body what to do. So it might be to calm your heart rate down, to slow your breathing, to, if you're feeling a little low that day, it's going to be an uplifting scent that's helpful for uplifting the spirit. So when you take a breath, and it is scientifically based, but I always tell people, if you don't believe that essential oils have this effect on you chemically, then, think of when you do smell something that you really enjoy, it stops, you take that deep breath, you slow down, Otherwise, yeah, exactly. You wouldn't take that breath otherwise. And so many times we forget to stop and take a breath. And, that's so important for our bodies, and mental health can have physical effects on our bodies. And just making sure that we are as mentally healthy as we can be just increases the chances that our bodies will also stay more healthy and in better shape. So it's what we try to do is incorporate aromatherapy into everyday products, so that it's something when you're taking a shower, when you're washing your face, when you're you can use essential oils in a diffuser or light a candle. We have essential oil candles. But when it becomes even cleaning supplies, like when it becomes a part of your routine, it's going to be something that stops you. You take a deep breath, you enjoy the oils. A lot of them are immune support or immune boosting. So it's meant to give yourself some self-care while doing your daily routine. So, and routine, it can be so important to our bodies and our daily life, and making sure that you're taking that moment to stop. As it seems so simple, but it's actually very impactful, mentally and physically.
Yeah, I had never thought of that sort of everything, you know, it's a lifestyle. You can incorporate it throughout your day, almost just as habit, and you're
Mhm.
feeling better. That's smart. What are the major differences between your scented products and your aromatherapy?
Well, everything is scented with essential oils or herbs. So the actual scents, or the blends we call them, are my own blends. So when I knew that I wanted to create, a new calming blend, then I would look at what oils are helpful for that, for anxiety, for stress, and then you basically layer the different essential oils that have the same effect. So choosing 3 different oils, like our morning calm blend is the most popular. It's the one that's addictive. It's the one that, people smell it as a hand soap, and then they want it in the lotion and the body oil and the diffuser oils. But knowing that all 3 of the oils, which is it's patchouli, spearmint, and bergamot mint,
Hmm.
all of those oils have that anxiety calming, stress relieving effect within their components. And so when you layer 3 oils that have that same effect, it's going to have a stronger impact. As well as, if patchouli helps me calm down, maybe spearmint helps you calm down. So then that blend is going to work for more people, because there's more chance of one of the oils in the blends having that calming effect on you. So everything is aromatherapy based. There's no synthetic scents.
Hmm. I like that you touched on, I think you did, if you're calm, you'll project calmness on other people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're affecting me. I
Oh,
appreciate.
good.
Going back to mental health for a moment, what do you wish more people knew about mental health?
I wish more people knew the effect that it can have on a person, because before I went through my anxiety, and my diagnosis was major depression manifesting as anxiety. And so mine was more social. So I had a hard time all of a sudden, which had never happened before, just having a conversation with one person. My job at the time and when we met was in group travel. And so, my job was to talk to 350 people at once. Oops, sorry, we got the honking going on. Yeah, this is real life. Do you want me to wait and talk when it ends?
No, I can hear you. I think you're.
Okay, all right. And so for all of a sudden to not be able to talk to one person was surprising. I didn't know why. Um, and once I figured out, okay, I have anxiety, I have depression manifesting as anxiety. What kind of things can I try? Medication or, natural products, all of that. Um, it brought memories back to thinking of people who, because I used to be the person who'd walk into a room full of people and instantly be smiling and like, this is great, we're having fun. And then, I had friends or family members who go into a situation with a group, very serious, and they look very uncomfortable. And in my mind, I would think, why aren't you just pretending to have fun, or pretending that you're happy to be here? But realizing that they had, going through their own mental anxiety or social anxiety or depression or whatever it is. It's not like you can just snap your fingers and pop out of it. So understanding that the mind has such a major impact on, what we think is reality, what we say, how our body reacts physically. So I think I just didn't realize the major effect that it can have on you, and that you can all of a sudden pop into that place or that mental state, and not, you can't just hop out of it. So I think for people to recognize that it is a major thing, and that a lot of us go through it at varying levels, varying degrees. It's displayed in different, ways. And just that it's a pretty common thing, that it's okay to admit that you have, it's okay to talk to other people about it and share. And then it's also okay to stop what you're doing and think, okay, what steps do I need to take to balance myself out again? Because you do have to consciously acknowledge that you're going through it, and then trial and error, figure out what works for you, because it won't just be one pill, or aromatherapy, or start running, or it's not that easy. So it's just being open to exploring what that balance is.
Yeah, I think you answered my next question
Oh.
for the most part. But what advice do you have for people who have mental health challenges, who, for various reasons, may not have reached out for help?
Hmm. I always offer that people can contact me, and I can help hook them up with different resources. Now, especially with the pandemic, there's a lot of telehealth counseling
Sure.
that's out there. And actually, I think that they found that it makes people more comfortable starting counseling or continuing with it, because it's something that they can do from home, in the comfort of their home. They don't have to gear up mentally to go there. They don't have to, you know, reach out as much. You can just fill out a form and someone will respond to you. And so, um, reaching out to somebody is step one, and you don't even have to know, what's going on, because most of us, especially if it's not a lifetime situation where someone's grown up with similar feelings, if it just all of a sudden happens, it's okay to not know what's going on. But there's so much help out there, and you only have to tell one person who can help point you in the right direction, and then get help from there.
How else can we support those we love?
Sure. Well, you won't understand what they're going through. So, and I think that was, again, like that eye-opening. I didn't understand what people, meant or felt, or displayed in just in walking into a room of people. So I think it's okay to not understand it, and that person doesn't need you to understand it. You can ask how you can help. If they can't tell you how you can help, it's just being there, with them, being at their side. um, there are groups that, if you have a loved one going through it, you can reach out. Like Al-Anon is also helpful for family members that have people going through mental health situations, and just being able to educate yourself maybe a little bit in that area. um, but yeah, I think it's just letting that person know that you're there for them, and it's okay if you don't understand what they're going through, but definitely don't keep telling them you don't understand,
Yeah.
because it just really doesn't help the situation. And even when I was going through what I experienced, I had friends saying, like, I don't know how to help you, I don't understand. And then later in life, they actually went through similar situations, and again, it's that, oh, this is what that person was going through at the time. And
Mm.
just being there for them was helpful. I didn't, they might have felt helpless because I didn't know how to tell them that I needed help. But like, that's all I needed, was to know that they were there and willing to help. So um, yeah, being able to, if you have outside resources, see what you can do. But
Excellent. Thank you for that. As an entrepreneur, what has been your biggest challenges or regrets so far? And what did you do? How did you overcome it?
Well, I think when you start a company, you don't really know if you know what you're doing. So you don't, you just kind of jump in because you're led by the passion that that's fueling you. And as things get thrown your way, you make decisions and you try to do your best. But I think and it also can be very lonely in the beginning. So what I realized is that, you've got your people who are cheering for you, your family, your friends. But in the end, it's just you who's working on the work or who's getting, you know, championing something and getting related, and then you're cheering yourself on and you're like, it's just me in this room trying to create a business. But reaching out to other entrepreneurs was huge. And I live in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, and there's a great organization, like a great sense of community around entrepreneurs. And once I started just being around people that were doing similar things or starting their businesses, there's so much information that you can bounce off each other. And then you don't feel so on your own, kind of. But two, you start to realize everybody's going through the same thing of trying to run a business and not having, an education on how to run a business, or um, considering every angle of everything that happens. You just kind of go with it. So I think that was the biggest surprise of, um, you know, okay, this is growing and now I'm a business owner and I need to hire people and get help and, register my name and
Right.
create a website. And there's a lot of Googling involved too. I did a lot of Googling on how to build a website. And,
Right.
so that's also the fun and exciting part about all of it too. So it's just realizing that's kind of the same boat that everyone else is in. So definitely, if you have people around you who you can talk to, who are going through the same things, take advantage of that.
Right. Right. Be careful what you ask for.
Right.
Um, what has been your proudest moment for Essence One?
Um, I think my proudest moment is still the reason that I started the company and making sure that the mental health is the forefront, because being real and authentic there's power in that, and there's and power in it for me because it's also still very healing. It builds my confidence. I know that I'm being open and honest about who I am, and um, that's just, I think that's been the reward, is that oftentimes is what has opened the door to people trying Essence One products or wanting to support me, because they know my story and they know why I did it. So I think I didn't know what that would bring, or even the day I posted on Facebook about my story, I didn't know what that would result in. But I think um, I'm just proud that that has developed into the business that we are, and the reason that we continue Essence One. So
I think the answer to my next question is Google, but what advice would you share with entrepreneurs who may just be starting out?
yeah, lots of Google, lots of, there were a lot of Facebook groups too that I joined
Oh,
that
smart.
through, I did get some direction through my aromatherapy classes, as far as like there's an indie business network that I joined, and being able to have a group of people that you can, you know, post a question and get many different answers, of course. But yeah, lots of Googling and talking to people that are building businesses. And there's also established business people that are excited about mentoring and helping a new entrepreneur as well. So if you have that chance, definitely take it if somebody's willing to help you and hold your hand through some of the harder things.
Mm.
But I also think you just have to go for it.
Yeah.
um, and that's what powers people to do what they're doing, and to love what they're doing and keep things going, because there's that genuine passion behind it. And you do need that, because it's a roller coaster every week. It's up and down and up and down. But the highs are definitely outweigh the lows. So
Mhm. Yeah, I'm learning with my website and other projects I'm working on, there's a community, and the more you get involved, it pays incredible dividends.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
Absolutely. Um, in these very stressful times, I know you're a mother and a wife, and you're running a company. I think I know the answer to this, but how do you balance the pressures of work life and relaxation besides maybe your products?
My own products, yes. I now I'm able to realize that delegating is important.
Yeah.
And especially as the business owner, you want to do everything your way, and you want to do it. But delegation has been a huge help to me, especially this year. And now we're schooling our kids from home. My husband has always been a huge fan and so supportive and so willing to. He's become our chef, which I used to cook all the meals. Now he does. Um, but yeah, so it's been a combination of a very supportive husband and family and learning how to delegate, because you can't do it all. And if you do try to do it all, balls will drop for sure, plates will drop, because there comes a point where you've maximized what you can do. And I also know when I'm getting what I call quote unquote lazy, um, and the anxiety starts to creep in more, it's when I'm doing too much and I'm not taking care of myself. So I know I need to exercise. I need to only have 1 cup of coffee a day.
Mm,
Coffee is huge for anxiety for me. But when I want to drink it all day, I limit it to one. So just making sure that you are aware of what's healthy for you, and keep those habits going so that you are in a good mind to balance everything.
yeah. Excellent.
Mhm.
Um, what are your goals for the future of Essence One, or what do you want to conquer?
Well, I would love for Essence One to be more active with mental health awareness events. We're so busy right now making product and shipping it and running the company. I would love for us to be able to take part in more in-person things that isn't just having a table, trying to educate people on our company, but just more spend time um, raising money or taking part in those events. And just continuing to see that people enjoy the products. I think that's what keeps us going. We love hearing that somebody loves Morning Calm, and that people are gifting, like, just because the pandemic has been so such a life-changing event this year. A lot of people have been gifting and sharing our products and sharing just calm. And so just being part of people's lives in that way, I always want to make sure that we are benefiting people with the aromatherapy, but also then keeping the mental health forefront.
Excellent. Now we're gonna have some fun questions.
Oh, yay.
Um, if you could have a business lunch or dinner
Yeah.
with a mentor or anyone to sort of support, alive or dead, who would you invite to the lunch and why?
Well, there's a lot of people, but I still want to meet Glenn Close because of Bring Change to Mind. And we have a big state fair in Minnesota that is kind of where we make a bigger splash as far as educating people on Bring Change to Mind in Minnesota. So, and she has never been, and the chairwoman from Bring Change to Mind is from Minnesota, lives in Minnesota. And so it's my goal that she will be able to check out our state fair, and maybe I can get that lunch in.
Excellent. By the way, she can sing really well. There was
Yeah.
a musical called Barnum that I
Oh,
saw
okay.
as a child, and great voice.
Oh, I'll have to ever sing then.
Um, when the pandemic is over, I know you've traveled a lot.
Mhm.
Where do you want to travel first and why?
Hmm. I think honestly, so yes, I've traveled a lot, and through my previous job, and some of my favorite places were in Asia. And so I would love to go back to Asia. One, because walking down a street and not even being able to read the characters. So usually you can go to a country and as long as they use the American or not American, what do we call the alphabet?
The
But if it's using our alphabet, you can read, oh, that's a salon, or you can kind of figure out what it might be. But
mhm,
um, just not being able to read signs and know what is in a place is one thing, but then the people were so welcoming and so gracious, and everyone, no matter what their job was, did it well, and they had pride in, even if they were the person pushing the elevator buttons,
right.
um, they were amazing and motivated and excited to help people. So I would go to Asia.
If you go
Mhm.
to Japan, let me know. I love with Japan and have some hints.
Oh, and the food is amazing. Yeah.
Food, people, culture, building
Yes.
paper. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Um, the favorite place. What's your favorite place you have visited?
Japan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Loved it all.
have you been to Nara?
No, we didn't go to Nara.
That's where the deer walk around. It's
Yeah, I
it's like
have heard of
Disneyland
it.
for adults. These
Okay.
sacred deer walk around and
Oh, yeah. It's a peaceful place, I would say.
very.
Yeah.
What else would you like to share?
Well, I guess just that I'm, open to anyone who wants to reach out, either with that it's going through something where you might need some direction, but also, if you can benefit our knowledge and our resources. My website is a great place to start. There's a contact page on there, and that's www.essence1.life. So LIFE. Um, and yeah, I love hearing people's stories and hearing how they found balance through mental health journeys and things. And um, there's so many sad stories, but also so many amazing stories.
Sorry,
And I
that's my
think
phone
that
dropping.
um, no problem. But in my case, I feel lucky that I went through something really hard and that it has brought me to a place that's really beneficial. So, um, it's everybody's story is different. So I love hearing people's stories.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, I appreciate hearing your story today. I'm hoping, this helps some people. And I really, really appreciate your time. Really
Thank
great.
you. I love what you're doing too. So keep,
Thank you.
yes.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
Sounds good.